we're getting close to that time, y'all. We're getting close to that time. So go ahead, comment, like if you like what you like. And if you have not already, share this with others. But we about to get started at 40, 39, 38. Yeah. You are tuning in to Talk That Tech with Trey and Jay Smith. Stay by live as we are about to go down in less than 17, 16, 15 seconds and counting and more. And here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. And we're live. Good morning, family. Welcome to edition of Talk That Tech, the morning show. We are up, we are bright and early, bushy-tailed and ready to go. How you feeling, Trey?
Easy money, man. Easy money. I'm feeling great, bro. Feeling great. Look good. You feel good. You feel good. You play good.
Really?
You play good. They pay good. We ready.
That's true. I feel like this new light. I did a different lighting for this morning show. Not the typical lighting, and I feel like it's giving me a glow. You looking good? You got the number
Hey,
shirt
man.
on?
Hey, numbers.
Plural, not just one.
Yeah, it's some decimal points in there, man. Some decimal points in there.
There's some more points in there for real. No, man, this is gonna be great. Like we said earlier before we got started, we're so excited to have the show with you. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. What we're gonna do is something a little bit different as well. We're gonna do a call in for the show. We did that before. Where basically if you're on YouTube. I'm gonna try to see if I can do it for LinkedIn, but if you're on YouTube, I'm gonna put a link in the description below where you can call into the show. And you don't have to worry about cameras because your face won't be shown or anything like that. But you could call in, and we're going to basically give you an opportunity to basically speak and share, if you have something you want to share. So I'm going to put that in the link right now while we are having this conversation. So check that out. LinkedIn, check it out. Could be in the comment section as well. And we're going to basically kind of do that. But before we kind of get really in the nitty gritty of the show, good morning, by the way. Good morning, y'all. I'm going to put some comments up here. Okay, Joseph, with the early morning radio. I was thinking about that too. I was like, should I make fun of it? Because I woke up and I'm like this. But no, yeah. I appreciate for those things. That's how I feel. It's like it's extra low in the morning. So I appreciate that. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Tori. Good morning. Can't read right now. Good morning, Andreen. Sorry about that. Good morning, Darcel. Good morning. I appreciate y'all coming in. All right. So yes, I'm gonna put the links in the chat. But while I do that, I'm gonna throw the question out to you that we were talking about earlier, Trey. It says, "What is your go-to karaoke anthem?" What is your go-to karaoke anthem?
Let us know. What is it? I actually, while you're putting it in the chat, yeah. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm normally the guy, right? Like, I'm sitting there enjoying everybody else do the karaoke. Like, I never really get up. So I don't know what it would be. I do like let me see. I like So Fresh and So Clean. I don't even know the real title for that song, but I do like that one. I don't know, bro. I don't have one. I just normally I like to cheer everybody else on.
That one right there?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
I do like to cheer everybody else on though.
I like that as well. I mean, especially if we had karaoke in the morning, this reference that I'm about to put right now would be perfect. But I'm gonna say it myself. It's gonna be an interesting one. A House Is Not a Home by Luther Vandross. A chair is still a chair, even when there's it's in there. It's best.
I like Lachey's. You know what? I could go that. I could go that route too. I like that one.
What do you say?
Because I like the ones that can get the crowd going. Right?
Can we talk?
Exactly. Everybody's standing up with that. Everybody's going in with that one. So yeah. Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell? I'm
That's a good
changing
one.
mine. I changed it. That's mine. Lachey, I
That's
took
it.
it.
She
I
said,
stole it.
he's like, that's mine. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh man, I know. A
uh,
big one is "Don't Stop Believing." Everybody's singing that. Depending on the
mm,
crowd, but depending on the crowd. But yo,
facts.
if you have a karaoke anthem that you have ready in the back pocket, like if this thing was to come up, you are ready to go. Put it in the comment section below. But we're gonna get right into the conversation here. We're gonna be talking about a topic that we were starting to talk about since last week, the week before. It's kind of all in this kind of company called branding. What is branding? And that is a conversation that we definitely want to have. What is branding? And I'm gonna pass it to you, Trey, as we begin to talk about the subject.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I mean, do you want me to do the definition or
We could
what I'm
definitely we
what
because we
I'm
got
saying?
because guys, we did our homework.
Yeah.
We were looking at this and we are saying like, how can we tackle this topic? So, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we could look at that definition there that we found. But I have it right here, so I'll read it, and then what you said
Okay.
yesterday. Would love for you to talk about that because I
Oh,
thought it's
bet.
so
Cool.
true.
Yeah.
But like basically, according to Oxford Language Definition, which is basically the Google definition that you get whenever you type in a definition, it says that basically branding is the promotion of a particular product or company by means of advertising and distinctive design. I'm gonna say that one more time:
Yeah.
the promotion of a particular product or company by means of advertising and distinctive design. And you had something
Yeah.
really cool to
Yeah.
say about that I'd love for you to share with the audience at
Yeah.
large.
I mean, when it comes to branding and personal brand and stuff like that, bro, I mean, I did a lot of research, a lot of just late nights, just up and going. But for me, when I think about branding and personal branding, or even just branding in general, it always brings me back to, like, you have a strong brand when the thing that somebody is talking about,
Mm,
you're synonymous with that, right? Like,
yeah,
you're literally synonymous with. So what I was thinking about, like, everybody knows, like, hey, you get a cut or something, they're like, yo, go give me a band-aid, right? But nobody ever really thinks about, like, band-aid is a brand. Like, it's literally the name of a company. The real word for that is bandage,
yeah,
right? So it's crazy when, like, you can tell when, okay, your brand is top tier when you become the thing. Like, they
yeah,
use your name for the thing. So I mean, another one, a lot of times you hear when people, they're looking to get a soda, right? They don't say, hey, go get me, they're gonna say, hey, go get me a Coke. A lot of them, not everybody, right?
yeah.
But there, it could be a grape soda that they're trying to get. Hey, go give me that Coke. And it's like, bro, this is grape. It's not even close. but but that's when you know your branding is top tier. So, same thing with integrity and things like, what comes to mind if you're talking about personal
Mhm,
branding? Like, when people think about you, like, what's that thing that comes to mind? And
yeah.
over time, you can become synonymous with certain topics and things like that. But that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so funny that you brought up that conversation yesterday about Coke. One of the things that I actually looked at when it came to Coke per se is that, when it was founded was literally in May 8th of 1886. It's been a long time, right? And another
Longevity.
longevity, right? Longevity is key. Another area that I didn't realize was in regards to in Guyana, where my family's from in the Caribbean, they would say, "Hey, babe, give me some Colgate, Colgate," and Colgate is synonymous with toothpaste, right? And so
Yeah.
that was always kind of like the thing that I realized. I'm like, uh, don't they know that it's toothpaste, or don't we know that it's toothpaste? Oh man,
Like,
but
it's
that was
more brands out there.
it is, and that's the thing. It's like these, and the thing about those two brands, because I'm going to say it also with in regards to Colgate here. Colgate was actually founded by William Colgate in the small soap and candle business in New York City around 1806. So
Mm, mm,
that says a lot.
long time.
Because it's a long time. Been a long time coming. That's what when I was looking at that, I was like, man, you know, these brands that we know are synonymous with certain industries, they've had a reputation for a long time of being consistent in
Yeah.
these things. And so that's the thing that we want to kind of bring up here in and ask as a question to the audience. When you're thinking about brands, right? And this is a question for y'all. What other brands that you know are synonymous with their industry? I'll say it again. What other brands do you know of that is synonymous with their industry? Because that is kind of what we're going to be talking about today. We have a few things that we wanted to point out, and like we said earlier, don't forget. You see, you're scrolling at the bottom. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to do that as well. Also, I just want to let you know for those that have been locked in with us for a period of time, Kanika Tolbert, she is coming back and she's going to be talking about the same subject this upcoming Saturday. It's going to be a new time, not 10 a.m. It's going to be 11 a.m. just to give you guys a little more time to get up in the morning, right? A little more time to stretch because we know the night before you might have been doing some stuff. I'm not going to say what, but and you might need some more rest. So we moved it to 11 a.m. She's going to be talking about transitioning careers and personal branding. So you definitely lock in with us there. And like I said earlier, later in the show, we're going to have a call-in link where you basically call into the show, give your thoughts and ideas, and we'll be able to talk about it more, man. But now let's talk about this. It's a little bit
Yeah.
sad. It's just quick disclaimer though. These are brands that we've shown consistency over the years. Colgate, all these different brands we talked about,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola,
We,
even
we had we had
Band-Aid,
we had Tori say Kleenex. That was good. That was good right there. Kleenex for
Kleenex.
sure.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let me
For
put up here.
sure.
Xerox. Can you Xerox
Yeah.
this? That is true. That is very true, actually. And I'm gonna read this comment real quickly too, since it's right here. If you're trying to land your first tech role, should I keep my personal brand that's in another industry hidden? I do not advertise my private chef business on LinkedIn due to my desire to break into tech. Please advise. That's a great question. That is a great question. Maybe you could
Really.
brand yourself as tech chef or the chef cooking tech. I don't know something. I like people to mix the two, but that's a very good question. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll leave it to the expert. When Kadika comes next week Saturday, bring that question to her. Unless Trey, you want something to add, you want to add something to that or anything like
Um,
that.
I mean, I don't know. I'll give her like just so that she doesn't have to wait that long. But I mean, just something to think on, maybe, right? Not necessarily right or wrong, because I don't know. I'm not an expert. But what I would think is, in your chef business, right? Maybe you're not putting it on your actual resume, right? But there are some things that you can talk about and talk to inside of your different interviews that you can talk about that really correlate with the industry that you're trying to break in, right? So I don't know
Mm,
what role in tech that you're trying to get, but if I mean, for instance, like say it was tech sales, right? I always tell people, what are the things that you can tie in to help the interviewer see why this is something that's for you, right? Like,
mm,
why are you trying to get over here? Because in their mind, just to be brief, in their mind, if you say like, yeah, I'm a chef, I've been a chef for 5 years, 10 years, they might not see how that connects to tech sales, if that's what we're talking about, right?
yeah,
So the
yeah,
goal is to try and meld that together. So
yeah,
one thing that, I mean, I don't know about a chef really, because I just don't know. But one thing that just pops in my head is, hey, there's a lot of things going on at the same time, right?
mm,
So something that personally I would bring up is like, hey, I've been a chef for 10 years. It's crazy. A lot of times there's a lot of things going on, right? And if you're the sous chef or something like that, then now you're actually also directing people where to do, what to go, where to go, what to do. So, hey, I might have 3 dishes going on over here. I got some things soaking in the water over there, but
yeah,
still maintaining like, oh, I know this is going to be 5 minutes and I have to go back over here and take this out, right? So there's I'm keeping things together while still maintaining a great experience for the people who are going to be dining. And I know that
yeah,
in this role, we're going to be doing a lot of different things. There's going to be a lot of things going on. And so just me being able to do that, I'm definitely going to be a great person to be able to come in and be able to multitask and get the work done. And so just helping them see like, oh, okay, I can definitely see how, having a multitasking chefing, how that could help on the textile side. And you can
Yeah.
do that for every other thing that you can think about that does correlate. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, yeah, and just to add to that real quickly, and then we're gonna go on to something else real quickly
Mm-hmm.
that we have here. But one thing I want to add to that is I like to say, like, if even in now, as you're branding yourself in the tech industry, you can meld the two in ways where you could actually create content through it, where basically you're like meal prepping for techies, right? These are the type of meals that will keep you, if you're working from home, these are the type of meals that keep you light, that keep you refreshed. And this is geared towards people that work in tech. They work from home remotely. They may be able to go and grab some things, but they want to save money or whatever, use that money for investment or some other things. So now you can meld that in regards to how can I take my chef background or the skills I learned for being a chef. How can I take the fact that I had to be working 12 hours and had to be consistent with every dish? Like, that's great content that you could create around melding those two things, comparing, because people love food, comparing food to the tech industry, the work ethic, the different ways to advance your skill set and be better by leveraging that past experience. So you got a lot to work with. You got a lot to work with,
Yeah,
in our opinion. But come Saturday and check it out with Kanika, because that's going to be something that you could definitely bring up and definitely talk about with when we have that conversation. Yeah, and I
definitely.
see a lot more comments here. We're definitely gonna try to get to it for sure. But I want to go into this next segment real quickly in regards to some news. A quick disclaimer: our goal when we talk about certain news is not to be a gossip channel. That's not us. We were just kind of making parallels between what's happening in the world in
That y'all
news
know.
that y'all know already with what we're talking about. So there's a couple stories that caught our mind, and basically, I'm going to just say this is it's more like branding damage control at this particular point. Branding damage control, because what's happening here is we're seeing that. What happens to a brand that does get negatively affected by a situation or a circumstance? And I'm gonna pass it to my bro Trey to talk about this one story that he brought up to me that I was like, oh, I wasn't aware of this.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I don't know if y'all out there know, but there was a prospective basketball player. His name is not was. He's not dead. Not literally. Anyway,
No, he's not.
yeah, he's good. But Mikey Williams, y'all, this guy, when he was coming up in a couple years, right? This is all in span a couple years. I mean, he was ranked number 34 in the nation in 2023's recruiting class to go to college, right? He
Yeah,
had multiple college offers. First high school player to sign a multi-year Puma deal. Like, this is, when you talk about NIL, name, image, and likeness, this guy he was a couple years before most people had
yeah.
$3.3 million deal, right? But then
Mhm.
Mikey got a case. He got arrested, right? I'm talking about this guy is at the top of the basketball, like, at news, everything, and he let a temporary situation kind of literally steal all that from him. So at 19 years old, this guy's 19. Mikey, he basically in March earlier this year, he got tied to a dispute about some guests being at his house and asked to leave, right?
Yeah.
But then with that, he pulled out a gun. He pulled out a
Mm.
gun allegedly, and now he's facing up to 28 years in prison if he's convicted on like six different charges based on those guns. Because one of the gun
Wow.
charges was he actually shot into the Uber.
Yep.
Apparently, he shot into the Uber that was
Allegedly, yeah.
driving off. Yeah, with the people. So,
Yeah.
but the thing is, this one incident, I'm not gonna say it's little, but allegedly
Mm.
this one incident has almost taken him out of the game. So, this guy, he was gonna be going over to Memphis, and now all of that is on hold, and he's possibly facing up to 28 years in prison.
Yeah, that is a sad story. I don't find any humor or anything like that, any joy
Right,
in
right.
his such a situation, because he's such a young guy, and his whole life is now hanging in the balance in regards to his freedom and in regards to just the opportunity that he had. And so, that's just one example of what we kind of were looking at over the weekend, even with the situation with DJ Envy and Cesar Pina, when you have a brand and you attach yourself to someone, and the alleged things that happened there in regards to possible Ponzi scheme, allegedly, of course, and in regards to the fact that there are a lot of people that have been affected by this. I think the last time I checked, it's anywhere between 80 million to $100 million that is
Mm.
involved in that situation, and so that is sad. That is sad. And one thing that we both talked about too was the big bombshell this weekend in regards to at least celebrity news is regarding Jada and Will Smith, and the fact that Jada Pinkett was like, "Hey, listen, we were separated for 7 years already," and just the fact that what has happened already to Will Smith's brand in regards to just everything since that slap, it's kind of sad because if we might forget that that particular night he won the Oscar,
Yeah,
um,
he won it, not
and
just nominated.
he won it, like something that he's has been probably looking forward to for years, and unfortunately, that night affected a lot of things, not just him getting the Oscar win, but his brand, his perception, how people see him. And what are your thoughts on those two things that we just talked about, DJ Envy or even Will Smith?
Yeah, I mean, again, it just goes back to what we were talking about, right? When you think about at the beginning of the show, you got things like Colgate, you got things like Band-Aid. One of the things that stuck out with those brands was consistency, right?
Yeah,
They're synonymous with whatever they do and the greatness over a consistent period of time. Well, they hadn't had something like that pop up. And when they do, we see what happens, right? So when we think about
mm,
Will Smith for years, I mean, we talking about the Fresh Prince, man. We talking about this guy. If he's in the movie, it's going to the top.
yeah,
It's doing numbers, right? When he did a movie, but one thing has changed the perception, like a lot of, not most, but a lot of people's minds of who he was and who he is. They kind of almost tried to wash everything he did just
yeah,
from this one situation. And so what we can see is like, yo, you got to figure out like, hey, what do I want my brand to be about? And here's
hmm
the other part about that. What do I want it to be about? And then how can I make sure that I sustain that over longevity? I can tell y'all this, y'all. One way is to just be you, right? When you're
mm,
trying to be, I'm not saying that he was trying to be anybody else. I'm not gonna say that. I don't know where Mikey grew up. Mikey Williams. I don't know where he grew up. But sometimes we see
yeah,
where somebody who didn't grow up in that lifestyle, but they glorify it, then they
yeah,
then they do it, all right, allegedly or whatever, and then now they get caught up in something that wasn't even really about. That's not what they're about. So
yeah,
the real thing that can keep us consistent over time is just being who you are.
yeah,
If you're who you are, it's kind of hard to switch up, or it won't get hard to keep that up,
yeah.
whatever facade it is. So that's just what I was thinking about, man.
Yeah, I totally agree. In fact, that's a question that we have for you, audience, and I wanted to just put it here real quickly. Do you think that your personal brand is important? And if you comment below, I'm going to put up on the screen. I'm guarantee it. But do you think that your personal brand is important? Should you be judged solely on the job you do versus the actions you take outside or even inside of your job? Like, what does your character look like? Is it just performance? Should you be judged solely on performance, or should you be judged for your character as well? I think you should. That's a question I would say character, of course.
Yeah.
What you do behind the scenes is important, and so that's something that we need to talk about. What are your thoughts, audience? Go ahead and put that in the comment section below. We definitely want to hear from you in regards to that. And Trey, I'm definitely actually I'm gonna put up here. Tommy Davidson touched us on a situation with Will and Jada on the club Shay Shay as well. Yes, he did. He talked about. I saw that interview from top to bottom, and it's so good
Man,
to
I
see
didn't
him
get to see it
healthy.
yet.
Oh man, yeah, it's so good to see him healthy though. That's one of the things I want to say. Tommy he's healthy, and he seems like he's in a good place. He has a book coming out, and he was
Yep.
talking about the fact that you know, you know, actually y'all check out the interview. But basically, he had almost a close to similar situation that Chris Rock had. Let's just put it like that. But yeah, y'all check out the interview for yourself for sure if you're interested in that. But yeah, let us know, what do you think? Do you think that your personal brand, is important? Should you be judged solely on the job you do? So let's say you're killing at your job, right? Bring in crazy amount of money for the company, but you're a jerk.
Yeah, you
And you
talking terrible to folks.
talking to treat people like any sort of way. Is it more important that you're bringing money into the company, or that your character is one that people are like, yeah, I could rock with this person? And that's a question for us all. Um, because sometimes it could feel like productivity outweighs character, but should it? Should it?
That's
You know,
true.
it's a,
That's true.
Yeah, man. And that brings me to a question that, you and I were talking about. I'm going to bring up some of the comments that are coming through here as well. Anger management is real and can ruin opportunities for. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anger management is so, like, what do you do in a situation? Like, for example, like Mikey, where,
Yeah. That's what I mean,
anger.
and when you go back to that, you can tell that that's what it was. Uh,
Yeah.
allegedly, he says William, the attorney, he said that the incident was triggered by several uninvited guests. So,
Hmm.
anger popped up.
Yeah.
Hey,
And now
y'all
the
ain't supposed to be here.
and now the cost is 28 years, possibly. Phew.
Yeah,
Jeez, jeez, jeez. Well, Trey and well, mostly Trey, but Trey and I, we're definitely talking about this a bit when we were planning for the show, and we came up with about 6 ways that we think that could be helpful in protecting your brand, your personal brand in the workplace. I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk on it. Um, you know, and so on and so forth. Oh, good point. Mitch said they will tolerate you as long as you are bringing in money, i.e., Antonio Brown. Mm, interesting, interesting. And let me go
yeah.
back to the Shay's comment here. Your character give the truth of your brand. Proof positive. Bill Cosby. The Cosby Show was such a high standard in the Black community. However, when this character came to light, it ruined everything.
I
You
mean, it's
you
so
tell no
true.
lies. You
You
tell no
can't
lies.
find that show nowhere. You can't
Yeah,
find it nowhere.
that is sad. That is
It
sad.
is.
It's
It's tough.
you know,
And
and
some people might say, like, well, man, that's harsh. It's like, man, you do one thing, but sometimes that one thing, it might be that bad, right? Sometimes it can take you all the way out. And so you really, like, I don't know. You just have to make a decision. Like, am I going to um make sure that my character is straight, and or make sure that I still do what I need to do, or am I just going to let it go and be the ruthless, foul individual and live that life how I want to live it? You can.
mm,
We're not telling you not to, right? Like, ultimately, you can do whatever you want, but there are
yeah,
consequences for both.
that's right.
Consequences is not just a negative. I mean, most of the time we use it negatively, but it's consequences to both different types of lifestyle. So you just have to figure out, like, what are you willing to live with? There are a lot of people who they make some choices and they go to a certain place, right? Jail, and they've
Hmm.
been in there so long that when they do get out, they do something immediately to go back, because now, like, that's what they
That's
like.
the
That's where
norm.
they feel comfortable. So
Yeah,
again, life is all about choices, for sure. It's just sometimes the choices that we make in those temporary situations can put you in a spot where you really don't want to be in every day, right? Permanently.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's the challenge, man. That's really a challenge. I see I think Mitch is right. Yeah, the Cosby Show, it still comes on. I think you can get
oh
it on
man.
Amazon.
Oh,
But it's
no. Oh, that's great.
yeah,
You probably got to pay for it. It used to come on for free. I don't know. I didn't
yeah,
see it. I didn't see it for a while.
mm,
I mean, there is a saying, right? I probably was gonna bring it up later on, but
yeah,
might as well do it now. The saying is, time does heal all wounds. So, or time does heal all. So,
yeah.
over time, we do see that eventually, if you do decide to change, or if you do decide to grow, that people will give you a chance. So glad the Cosby Show is back on, man. I'm glad it's on.
Yeah, yeah, and I got something from Grape Soda. And he says, for me, is character is more important. Honestly, people can change their personal branding based on culture, trends, location, etc. But if you stay
Mm-hmm.
true to your character, it can keep you grounded. And he says, "Oh, and out of trouble." Yeah, yeah, out of trouble. That's right.
That's the main
And
thing.
that's the main thing. Yeah, absolutely. And then also here it says individual behavior can affect the brand. Yeezy, love the brand, but it has been affected. And I think that's so
I'm
true.
with you. I'm with you. I got some Yeezys in the closet, man. I haven't pulled them out in I don't know how long. Just because I'm like, Lee, man, I can't even wear them. I can, right? Technically, I
Yeah.
can. I just when I think about wearing them, I'm like, let me just put on these. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
No,
because
I
I don't want to have a conversation about it. I don't want to talk to you about it. I just want to, I
I
just
just
want
want
to
to
be
get
able to live.
somewhere.
Yeah, but I know if I put those on, somebody's gonna stop me, and I'm gonna have to talk about this guy.
Yeah, and it's like,
So
listen, I just wanted to get some coffee.
that's it.
I
That's
ain't
all.
I ain't want to talk about nothing else, but just this coffee here. I don't want to say good morning, doo doo. None of that. I just wanted to get some coffee. Oh man! And so let me pull this up here real quickly because we were just talking about this particular top topic. And actually, Trey, as I'm pulling this up, can you
Yeah,
go ahead and talk about 6 ways you can protect and even grow your personal brand? I think this is what we kind of came
yeah.
up with. A few things here that I thought might be really good to share.
Yeah, yeah. So when it comes to 6 ways, right? So I'll do 3 to protect and then 3 to grow. So when you're talking about protecting your personal brand that you already have in the workspace, one, we talked about it a little bit, consistent professionalism, right? Like, how are
Mm,
you behaving at the job? And when they say behaving, it's not like, oh, standing in a straight line. It's just like, are you always with integrity, honesty, being a real professional, right? Like when you think about these athletes and the people who are doing this stuff at the highest level, they call them a professional. They move a certain way, right?
yeah,
So you got to think about yourself as a professional in whatever field you're in, right? Like I move a certain way when I walk through those doors. They know they're going to get a consistent something, right? And is that integrity? Is that honesty? You got communication, right? The way you're talking to people, not just who you're talking to for the job, right? Other businesses or whatever, your everyday people like that you work with. Like how are you talking to them? Is it respectful? Is it clear? Like you want to make sure that you're always putting your best foot forward when it comes to communicating. It's gonna get you a long way, I promise. Um, uh, and then you got continuous learning and development, right? We got to continue, like, we got to continue to grow. A lot of times when we stay stagnant and just kind of fall off, right? When we stop, that means you're stagnant. And anything that's stagnant is not growing, it's actually dying, right? When I think of stagnant, I think of like a swamp. You want to be a river. You want to be growing, right? River, that's clean water. That's fresh water. Swamp, it ain't moving. It's stagnant. Stank. I don't know if y'all ever been in stank. It really does. It really does. So you want to be that river. You want to continuously grow and continuously learning, and that will continue to protect your personal brand. Like, oh no, I know she knows her stuff, right? She knows she's gonna get it done. So, and then the last one on protecting is building and maintaining strong relationships. Now, I know a lot of people have a hard time with this, but it just is what it is. You're gonna have to learn how to. I'm not saying you gotta like everybody. I'm not saying you gotta be in front of everybody's face, but those few strong relationships that you do have, you want to make sure that you're cultivating those the right way. It's gonna get you a whole lot farther, I promise. Right? When you can walk by the director's office and they know you by name and they're saying what's up, or they're calling your name out in the meetings, it's saying something. It's like, I notice you, I see you, you're doing something right. Keep it going. So that's how to protect it. And then just when it comes to growing, y'all, 3 other ones. Growing, you definitely want to contribute, like contribute all the time, like anytime you can. It's not trying to be what did they used to call it back in school, like the teacher's pet or anything like that. No, no, no. You're helping others. Remember, like it's the Bible says better to give than to receive. The craziest thing about that is the more you do give, it is gonna come back on the backside. So that's one thing about it. Go and help people out. Like, don't just let them drown, your teammate, because again, you never know where that person's going. That person can literally end up being the CFO at some other big company, and guess what? They remember you when you helped them out, and now you're down, right? They were down at first, now they're up, and you might be down. It might be your season of down, but they remembered you and they hit you up on LinkedIn. Like, yo, I got something for you if you want it. I know a story. I'm just saying, I know a guy it happened to. It's crazy. And then you got engaging continuous networking, right? Again, y'all, it's so important. Again, that was an example of networking, what I just said, but also networking with people that you don't know. So when you're at these events and you're doing these things and walking around with people that you don't normally communicate with, talk to them, see what they do. You never know. It could lead to something inside the business or outside, right? You might build a relationship with somebody outside or inside the business, and then y'all go and do something outside, and then y'all ain't got to be there anymore. You never know. So keep building those relationships, and then the last thing here is just taking on challenging projects and things like that that can really push you forward. So if they have something coming out, a lot of times companies, they'll do like, hey, we're doing projects to see if this is going to be good for the company. Jump in there, volunteer. Those are all things that's going to help stretch you, help grow you, and ultimately keep you having a positive brand in the workplace. So
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
to you,
all
Joseph.
all all great stuff. And when you're talking, this was said here that stagnant water is full of bacteria.
Full of it.
Ooh, so imagine what it's like when
Thanking.
it, the song that came to mind, but I won't sing it. But yeah, like it's so true. It is so true. Like it really is terrible. And I'm gonna go back to
Yeah.
this one. I know it's a little. I know we passed to the part, but I thought it was funny. Sky's like, just tell them Jesus walks with me and keep it pushing, fam. I still wear my Yeezys. They are comfortable kicks, especially the 350s. And Mitch is I don't know if he was talking to Scott when he said this, but he was, I guess, talking to you or Scott. He says goody two shoes. Hey,
Goody
double
two
entendre, baby.
shoes. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he was talking
That
to
was a
you.
double entendre. He probably was talking
Yeah,
to me, but it did work.
it
That's
did work.
funny.
No, that's hilarious. Yeah, no, but that's a good point. Going back to that particular question that we're just talking about here, 6 ways you can protect your and grow your brand. When you were talking, I was thinking about the show Undercover Boss. You remember how the boss used to come in and there's expose the workers who were actually consistent with their character and
Yeah.
consistent with their work, and elevated those that have created a great brand within the company as being a hard worker, being a person that has grit, tenacity, being kind, being considerate. When somebody's character is really at that place where it exemplifies all the great characteristics that they have, all the great qualities that they have, and somebody can be able to recognize that and see that, then it's like boom, you know, we want to reward that,
Facts.
especially in the tech industry, because that there especially is areas where you can get rewarded for the hard work you put in, especially if it is there. And um, so that with that being said, one of the questions that I think what we were talking about earlier are what are some ways or what are other ways that you can protect your brand? We may have missed something. Maybe there's something that we just brought up that didn't that you're like, hey, that's cool, but what about this? So what are some areas that we, as us as a people all together, what are areas that we can protect and even grow your brand? Or what are ways that you are already doing that we didn't talk about? So let's know in the comment section below as we do that. And like I mentioned before, if you like this show, like, comment, and also share this with others. I mean, y'all are doing a great job commenting. I want to thank you for that, because it really is great to have this live audience rocking with
Keeping it
us,
fun. Keeping it
keeping it
fun.
fun in the
Yeah.
morning, right? Without you, this would be a different show. I'll tell you that right now. Right now, and also just so you remind you, right now we're going to go transition into the segment where we're going to basically do the call in show. So I don't know if you got a chance to click on the link already. but or see the link. I'm going to post it again here for y'all to see. But go ahead and call into the show. We're going to actually transition into that segment where you could call in. You don't have to worry about your camera being on or anything like that. Nobody will see you, but they'll hear you, and we'll be able to hear you as well. So I'm going to put that up for everybody to see. But here's a call into the call-in link right there. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and click the link there. If you're on LinkedIn, you might have to copy and paste it in the browser or whatever the case may be, but feel free to go ahead and do that. We're going to have a call-in link there. But yeah, anything that's going to add to that before we switch over to the call-in Q&A portion?
Oh, no. It was good. It was good. We're great.
Yeah.
You know, when it says what other ways are you protecting or growing your brand, y'all think about that. Put something in there. Help out somebody else, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Scott said, it's always good to see the jerk employees / managers get booted and deserving people promoted. Yeah, especially in that show.
Oh,
When
on that
the girl
show? Yeah,
boss,
on that show.
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, it was you the whole time? I didn't see you under that mustache, boss. But yeah, it kind of feels like uh retribution right there. Retribution. People are like, yes, we finally got it. This is awesome. No,
Vindicated. And that's a good testament too, bro. Cause
yeah,
sometimes a lot of I it's just in me, so I hate to bring it up, but in the Bible as a scripture, it says, don't get weary in well doing, right? And
yeah,
sometimes when you're working at these jobs and you're doing the best you can and you're trying to do it right and you're keeping up, and it seems like really nobody's seeing you, right? It seems like literally, man, I'm doing this, I'm not getting anywhere. It might mean you need to move to an industry where you can be seen or where you can do that, right? And for sure, the
yeah.
tech industry is one of them, but sometimes it's the role, right? Sometimes it's like, y'all gotta get out of this role. But ultimately, keep doing you. Like, don't switch up, don't change up just because you're doing good and all this stuff, and it's not. It seems like it's not getting you anywhere. Somebody's watching, like somebody's seeing you, and then on that show, right? That deserving person, that person is just diligent and doing what they do and
Yeah.
doing it to the best of their ability. They get recognized, they get promoted, and they're some of the happiest people because it's like, yo, it's crazy. I've been doing it. I've been putting in this work, and now I've been vindicated. So
Yeah.
hang
No,
in there.
no, hang in there. Be strong. Be strong for sure. And yeah, no, absolutely. Totally agree with that, in the sense that really, the industry, and go back to what you said, like sometimes it's not even the industry itself, it's the role that you're in. Or is it a good fit for you to be as an SDR, BDR, even account executive, or is customer success really where you should be? Or do you really have a mind that you're between being a sales engineer or being a software developer? Maybe a person that's like, I really don't want to deal with people. They might want to consider software development versus considering being a sales engineer, where you still, even though you're technical, you still have to deal with people and they're sorry
Right.
and then present in front of people and explain things to people in a way. It's not every role is for every person. When you find your space, it's definitely a good place to be in. And so with that being said, this is more or less going to be a time where we transition to more of a Q&A. So if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, it doesn't be questions. It'd be like, listen, I want to talk about that Mikey story, or I want to talk about whatever, and and you want to kind of add a little bit to it, feel free to call into the show. The link is there. Nobody will see you. You're good. Nobody will see you. But you could definitely call into the show. And I'm going to throw this disclaimer on here because I want to just make sure people know that thoughts and opinions expressed by participants in this call are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, beliefs, or position of the host and or the show. Just keep that there for a little bit as we take on any calls. But while we do that, let me go to the comment section in case we missed anything here. All right. Yeah, no, but everything is, yeah, I don't think I missed any ones that we had here in the comment section. So, oh, I actually did miss one. This was earlier, and it was basically from Scott. It said, Haynes, a lot of people here use instead of t-shirts when referring to brands. I didn't know that.
Me either.
Is that something that I've never heard that, but that's cool.
I haven't heard
That
it.
is,
I haven't heard it here, but again, That's just building a strong personal brand or a strong brand, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And you know what? Something else is true too. Like brands could have strongholds in certain regions. So you may not have a
Yeah,
stronghold in regards to a brand or awareness in regards to an other industry, but in your particular industry, you could create a strong brand that people recognize you for. I'm thinking about athletes, like for example, Allen Iverson. Everybody knows him in the world, right? But when he's in Philly,
yeah,
he doesn't pay for a single thing, I imagine. You
I
know,
believe that.
every
I
restaurant he
believe that
goes to, they're like, "Mr. Iverson, have a seat right here. We'll bring out the best steak. What else do you want? Oh, you paying us?
on the
Don't be
house.
disrespectful. Do not be disrespectful, Mr. Iverson. It's covered. There's certain people that have that cachet, and so that just made me think about that. Oh, here we got Kleenex. Yep, I don't know if I brought that up, but yeah, Kleenex is definitely one of those brands that we definitely want to, you know, it's synonymous with like
Yeah,
tissue. Whenever I say it's tissue, they're like, oh, okay, I got Kleenex. That is a good one. I did that. I do that. I have done that before. I just thought about that.
it's
Um,
bad. People be lying on what they got too. Not you, Joseph. I'm just saying. Like, oh
yeah.
yeah, I got a Kleenex, and it's the off brand. It's gonna scruff up your nose, mess your nose up. No lotion in there. You told me this was Kleenex, man. This is a paper towel.
Yeah, oh man, and that's another thing about branding too is that they were synonymous with being a tissue or whatever you want to call it that would basically not irritate your nose if you were to
Yeah,
use it. So, so
but that's branding. That's
that's
branding, man.
branding. That's branding. And so, what I'm gonna do right now is as people are getting into, uh, I'm trying to think if there's a story that I don't know if Trey, if you have a story too
On
of
what?
an example
I
of
probably do.
good branding versus bad branding in regards to like the workplace.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, just off the top of my head,
yeah.
um, uh, like sometimes, you can get caught up in the hustle and bustle or whatever, and you don't think that maybe ironing your shirt is important, right? So you just popping it out straight out the dryer, whop, and then throwing it on, and then you're out the door. And personally, I noticed that. Like I see it. Like I'm like, oh man, they ran out of time. But then over time, if I see it too many times, I'm like, oh, they don't iron the clothes. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that there's anything wrong with that, but there are people who in upper management and things like that who will see that and they might not necessarily like, that's not the look that I want to put in front of the CEO. When we need to get some things across to upper management, unfortunately that's not the person that I want to do. Now you might have information that somebody else has, but they're like, this person is presented better. They might say it better, but they're presented better. They're gonna go with them. So I mean, yeah, I mean, how you present yourself in the workplace it is important, man. It is important, and those taking those little details, even the opposite, even the other way around, right? What you'll notice is like, yeah, if you did take out those few minutes to iron your shirt, iron your pants, or whatever, people will notice that because not a lot of people do it. So it's like, oh man, this guy's always like his stuff is always neat or it's always on point or whatever the case may be. People notice it, but it's because it's just out of the like it's not many people who do it. So you got that, or even something small as keeping your desk clean and stuff like that. Like you got stuff all over the desk. Man, how do you keep up with this stuff? How do you stay on point? There's so many things, man. So many. All little things, but can make the difference.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And one thing I was gonna say, I was gonna actually I was waiting for you to say it, but you
What
didn't say
was
it,
it?
so I'm gonna bring it up. You were talking about how you used to roll into work and
Ah,
people had to check themselves. they had looked at you and then looked at themselves and then said, "What am I doing with my life?" I want you to talk about that
I,
real quick.
I mean, yeah, and what's crazy is this has happened at multiple jobs, bro. Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but since you did, I will. But yeah, at multiple jobs, like I'm a firm believer in liking what you like, right?
Mm,
So if you're a t-shirt and jeans type of guy, wear the mess out of those t-shirts and jeans. Like, hey, I wear the best material t-shirt I can find. It's always ironed. I wear the top-notch jeans, whatever. I'm telling you, that will still do do well if you wear it right. But me
yeah,
personally, I'm not normally that. So if I'm in the workplace, yes, I do. I have on like I just have a lot of clothes. So I can switch it up. I can not wear the same thing for probably 4 months. Like just switching stuff up and not even you might not see me in the same thing. So but
mm,
at that same thing, I'm gonna have it ironed. I'm gonna have it right, tailored. Like it just fits different on me.
yeah,
Yes. So sometimes when I would come in the office, man, people would guys, not women, but guys, they're like, man, you're just showing me up. You're making me like you making me feel bad about what I got on. And I try and make it a point, like what I said earlier. It's like, do like wear what you like, man. Like, don't try and like I promise you, I'm just wearing what I like. I'm not trying to do anything on your end, but just wear what you like, but do it in your way. Like
yeah,
like if you like hoodies, like I do, I love hoodies. So
yeah,
now that's a huge part of my wardrobe. I like hoodies. I, I don't know. I'm not gonna let somebody make me feel bad about wearing my hoodie. I don't care where I am because that's what I like.
yeah,
I think a lot of times when it comes to that, um, we take like we trying to like maybe please people or something like that a little much when like no just whatever you like wear it. But yeah, that I mean bro, that's happened multiple times, multiple guys. I'm like, don't feel bad, bro, this is just what I like.
yeah. No, I I'm listening to you. I'm like, man, I gotta take some notes with from Brother Trey in regards to getting ready in the morning and stuff like that. But it's different when you're remote because all they see is this. You know, you're like
Yeah,
living
yeah.
your best. You know, but yeah,
Oh
good
dude,
point.
there's
I
been
was,
there's been plenty of times where I've thrown on a long sleeve button down, starched and iron, and got on some basketball shorts at the bottom.
yeah. Yeah, man. It's different when you're remote. I saw this comment that was hilarious. You know, every place in Philly has an AI version of something. He is the original AI before everyone got on artificial intelligence. Oh man, this guy, he ain't telling lies right there. I mean, especially in Philly. Oh my, yeah.
Oh man.
Trey, where can I
Oh
get
man.
that hoodie you have on? The numbers hoodie.
Oh man.
Is it a one of
Unfortunately,
one?
it's not a one of one, but it's sold out. Like you just can't get them. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's sad. I hate it. But yeah, this is one of those ones where like they release, and if you're not there in 10 minutes,
Gone.
you just didn't get it. You didn't
Oh
get it.
wow. She probably hit
Yeah.
you up with like that. Give me the information though. I need that information.
Hit
Yeah.
me up.
hit
It's
hit
midnight organic. Just wasn't sure of the .com or whatever, but I think it is midnightorganic.com. But yeah, they just yeah, I guess you can make it. You can make it. Like, yeah, yeah. But
outfit plus a fragrance will give a positive and lasting impression. That's true. Fragrances are very tricky though to me. It could be something that enhances the situation where like, oh, this smells great, or it could remind somebody of their past boyfriend. They're like, "Ugh, I don't like you
hey,
already."
hey,
It's a tricky
you know
thing.
what? I agree, but I guess what? I'm gonna have that thing on. I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
have it on, bro. I'm gonna have it on because again, like what Dion said, man, you look good, you feel good, and that
Yeah.
correlates over into the other things. So yeah,
Hmm.
like that's a part of me looking good. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna have it on. I'm gonna have that stuff on.
We
So
coming.
now I might not, pour, like if I'm in the workplace, I might not pour it on, right? Like I might not,
Yeah.
douse myself in it, but I'm gonna have it on for me. If you like it or if you smell it, hey, that's cool. But again, like we gotta get into like, no, I'm doing this for me. But in that, right, when you say, hey, I did my hair, I don't know, I put my clothes on, you're showing respect to the other person.
Yeah.
By looking good or doing your best in front of them, right? When the president or whoever else is coming into the room, what are they trying? They try and put on their best stuff. Why? It's out of respect for the person that's coming in. So
yeah, I'm not gonna admit straight pouring traffic.
What'd he say? Pouring traffic.
I guess
I don't get it.
I guess it's like the amount of fragrance I think he's talking about. Like the amount you're pouring out is like traffic.
Oh yeah, nah.
Or maybe it's the fragrance called traffic. I don't know.
I don't know. I like Tom Ford. I like Creed. I like Baccarat. I like yeah.
If y'all don't know, Trey was in fashion.
I don't know about porn
before
traffic.
He was even tech. So
yeah.
So this is Ali. Like you getting him ready.
Oh yeah.
Like he said you're pouring the cologne on like the water video. Like,
nah, I can't do that. I'm not that guy. I don't need you to smell me a mile away. You know,
just right up close. Just right, just like the
yeah.
hug. What's that smell? Or in the room, like what's that smell? I like that.
Like I'm okay with breaking your neck. Like if you like, oh, what was that? I'm okay with that. I'll let you know too.
It's like I see you.
Yeah,
you're looking at me. You smelling me. It's cool.
Yeah, hey, I might let them know. Yeah, you're not gonna find this. That's why it smells different. It's because it's two fragrance. I got the
two fragrance.
I got the I got the original Santo with the Tom Ford bitter peach.
What you know about that? Oh man.
Yeah. Versace blue. Okay.
Bro, I got a whole cabinet full of stuff from designer to niche. I got a problem.
Yeah.
You gotta know how you scent profile and yeah, he's sending you. Y'all gotta talk about that for sure. I'm gonna point out there's another comment I missed here. Oh, so she said, so I gotta make one. Got it too easy.
Oh, with the hoodie,
number shirt.
With the hoodie.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, yeah. To be honest, yeah.
Knock
after a few
numbers.
minutes, it's a wrap. You're not gonna find. You're gonna have to. Yeah, you'll have to make it.
That's hilarious.
But it's a simple one. It's simple for sure.
Font and a couple of commas and you're good.
Yeah.
And this one is a good one. I'm gonna end it on this note. I've been trying to break into tech. I've done course careers, only 2 interviews so far. Let us chat. Hit up either myself or Trey, and we'll definitely get going in regards to that. And I'm gonna end on that note. Like, thank you guys for rocking with us today. We definitely always appreciate it for sure. Definitely hit us up individually. And if you have any questions, definitely reach us out on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn is the best place for me. Where do you want people to hit you up? Would you prefer just LinkedIn, or what other places you prefer, Trey?
LinkedIn, YouTube comments, Instagram DM. I'm trying to get better at those. Wherever is best for y'all, trying to make it easier on the person. Man, you should probably end it on Zach Russell, but yeah, wherever is best for y'all, man. That's I'm trying to help out wherever I can. So if I can help, I definitely will. But Denarius, man, just keep putting out more what do you call them? Yeah, not interviews, but keep putting out more golly, my mind blanked out because I was looking at the comment.
Oh yeah, Zach! Congratulations! Just broke the tech, y'all.
Congratulations, Zach, man.
Accepted my job offer 2 weeks ago. Start next month. Fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that should keep Denarius with the hopes, man. They're still hiring, but you just gotta put in more applications. That was what I was speaking on. Put in some more applications. That'll lead to more interviews. More interviews will lead to more second and third round, and that'll get you where you're trying to go. A lot of times the number that we're putting in is not enough. So just turn it up a little bit, bro. You got it. You'll be just like Zach here. Zach, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome, man.
And having the right approach as well. This is not a typical industry. Mass applying will not work. This is something that you need a surgical tool in how you maneuver for sure. We could talk about that.
Hit us up.
I appreciate you, Zach. Yeah, appreciate y'all. I'm excited. Oh man, I'm excited for you. We are excited for you.
Yeah.
And this might be the best. This might be the comment to leave off on. But he said this was a great way to start the week. Thank you both. And that's the goal of Tech Talk Morning. For at
Yeah.
least for Monday mornings for now, it looks to start you on your week. So you can think about branding. You can think about how you're gonna move and groove and do that. And so that's definitely what we want to do. Thanks for sharing the knowledge. Appreciate that. We just try our best to really help there. Book a session with my bros. They'll get you together. Hey man, yeah, book a session. Do it. Do whatever you need. Reach out. We'll try our best to help. Thank you
That's
so much.
facts.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Well, not subscribe yet, but to share this with others. This live with Tech Bag Trey and myself. And also next week I have this Saturday, actually not next week. This Saturday I have coming up. This is going to be October 21st. We have Kanika Tolver coming back to do an episode on transitioning careers. So those that are help trying to find transition, she's a career coach, by the way. So she's going to help you transition careers and to create your personal brand. She's going to be doing a live Q&A, and so we definitely want you to be on with that. All right, I gotta get my brother in here, Mr. White, in one more because I know you've been going for a long time, brother. We see you, and we're rooting for you. You're taking your final exam for course careers in a few days. Any advice? Like I always say, and Trey, you could throw in something here, and then we could hop off. But
Yeah.
uh,
I got you. I
yeah,
got
but
you. Yeah.
I was going to normally say I like to focus on the verbal portions first because that's what the partner companies see. Then I focus on the long form, shorter form, and the multiple choice in regards to my emphasis in what I study and prepare for. Because the multiple choice, you already did that, so your brain is like, okay, I'm familiar with this answer. I will go through that a couple of times, but my focus would be in the order that I just said. What do you think, Trey?
Yeah, for me, I know they switched around the practice exam, so it's not as many questions. I would say go back through all the module finals and take the ones that you feel like you need, to brush up on and make sure that you're good to go. But as long
Mm-hmm.
as you're passing those, you're good to go. Like,
Beautiful.
because they're not trying to trick you on there. They just want to make sure you know the information. So as long as you're passing those module finals, you'll be good to go on that last one.
Nice. And with that being said, y'all, thank you for tuning in with us. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yes, indeed. Deuces.